Hello and welcome to It's Not So Lonely at the Top podcast. This is a podcast for business leaders and business owners just like you. We're going to be sharing top tips on how to develop yourself personally and professionally. I'm going to be sharing updated podcasts on a regular basis, so please do make sure you subscribe, and I really hope you enjoy today's podcast. Hello and welcome to today's podcast. I want you to think that you can do anything, but you can't do everything. It's interesting, it's just come up in a recent podcast that I recorded with Jordan Butler, who's a laser tattoo removal specialist. And it's a really, really interesting concept that I first came across through Jimmy Carr, actually. It's within his book. And he says that essentially as people, we can do, have, be anything. We can't do everything or have everything. Have you ever felt like you're just juggling too much, feel massively overwhelmed? I certainly know I have, and I'm often really guilty of trying to do too much and trying to be everything to everybody. It's really quite challenging. And the thing is social media reinforces that. They reinforce this, you can do it all, hustle type culture. You can have it all. And actually, it's impossible. What ends up happening is we end up spreading ourselves too thin. I've certainly been guilty of that previously. You know, when I started Flagship, I ultimately just focused on Flagship, and you become an absolute expert and specialize in what you're doing. And as time goes on, you maybe start to take your eye off the ball, and you start to focus on other things, or you focus more on the people side of things. One of the challenges is that organizations have as they grow is they become quite insularly focused and not focused outwards on what the things are that really, really matter. And they start to try and do everything for people. And the thing is when leaders spread themselves too thin trying to do everything, you recruit a team of people and you're trying to be HR, you're trying to be the leader, you're trying to do the doing, you're trying to still be a consultant, for example, in my case. But I speak to many leaders who try to do everything. They try to be the administrator, they try to be the organizer, they are the finance person, and they try to do it all. And what they end up doing is spreading themselves way too thin. And the cost of that is going to be burnout, it's going to be decision fatigue, and really it dilutes the most important thing about you and your business, and that's you, the leader, and the direction you're heading. So I'm just going to take a swig of coffee. It's really important that we make sure we don't just shine a spotlight on the things that are most important. We actually flood it with light. It's really about having that focus around the things that are most important as a leader. And I just want you to reflect on that for today's podcast and realize that you can have and do anything, but you can't do everything. It's just not possible. You're going to spread yourself too thin and dilute yourself. And to reintroduce you to a principle, Pareto's principle, which is around the 80-20 rule, that actually 80% of your results come from 20% of your effort. Well, what happens if you really focus in and narrow down on that 20% to grow your results past the 80%? It's really, really important that we focus our time on the things that are most important. So how do we do this? How do we do this is something I hear people ask all the time. And I'm a big advocate for Eisenhower Matrix, which is around deciding or creating a don't do list. So that's one of your takeaways today. I want you to think about a stop doing list. Most people have a to-do list. And I want you to look at that to-do list and I want you to take a load of stuff off and create a stop doing list. Okay. So a stop doing list will help gain you your time back and your energy back and your focus, because it's not just about time, it's about energy and focus. And as a leader, you need to have thinking time, you need to have creative time, you need to have reflection time on the things that are working and that aren't working. It's no wonder, I as many people know, I spend time in the gym, and after the gym session, I love nothing more than to go and spend some time reflecting in the sauna or meditating. It's no wonder all of my best ideas, all of my best thinking happen either in the sauna or when I'm meditating, because I've created space for thought. It's those moments when my subconscious comes up with that little thing of, Pete, you need to remember to do that, that I'd not thought about for months and I'd forgotten, that was really, really vital that I mustn't forget. It's in those moments when we create that space that our best thinking and best results come from and the best ideas happen. Hi, my name's Pete, and I want to thank you for tuning into today's podcast. I'm a coach, speaker, and author. And if you want to take your personal development that bit further, did you know that I offer a mastermind program as well as one-to-one coaching? If you're interested, please do reach out on peterushmer.com. So as well as your stop doing list, I want you to use Eisenhower's Matrix, which is around creating your to-do list and then putting them into one of 4 categories. One is that you're going to do them, okay? And I want the least amount of things in the to-do list. The other is to delegate. So you create a load of things and you look at them and go, I need to delegate these things. And it might be that your team aren't ready yet, or you've not trained them or not shown them how to do it, but you're going to train them and show them how to do it because they're capable of doing it, and you're going to start delegating that thing to them, which then helps create your time back and focus back. So a do list, a delegate list. And then there'll be things on there that are taking up your mind and energy, but you can delay them. You need to filter them through. Is this really important that I do this today or tomorrow or this week? Can I delay it? And this is really useful, particularly when you're feeling overwhelmed and there's a lot going on, is to really focus on what's most pressing now. So the things that aren't pressing, put those on the delay list, because I know what often happens and is very tempting to do when we're cracking on through things is we do the things that are easy. And often the things that are easy, they're not actually they're not necessary right now, but we do them because we get a dopamine hit. We get a sudden spark of energy from crossing something easy off the to-do list. But in reality, it's probably not the most important thing for you to do. So those things that you can delay, this is about focus. So those things that you can delay, put on the delay list. And then finally, you've got your delete list. The things that you're just going to delete, they're not relevant. You're not going to do them. You're going to stop doing it, and you're just going to delete them off your to-do list because they don't actually matter. And you're going to forget about them. So I've given you a couple of tools there, a stop doing list and splitting your to-do list into those 4 categories that will help you focus on the thing that's really important to you, and to stop focusing on everything. And the reflection that I want you to take away from listening to this podcast, the reflection is around really thinking about what's draining you at the moment. Where's your energy at and what's draining you? And it's really useful. One of the things that I do with my coaching clients on a regular basis is I focus on 2 key areas to enable them to know what needs to be focused on. One of them is their life values. So your life values are the things that are most important to you. And that, if you know and are really clear on your top 4 or 5 life values, that's a really great filtering mechanism as to what you need to do, delegate, delete, and delay. Okay? So if you know your life values, if you know the things that are most important to you, and you know the things that are most important in your business or organization, that's a really, really good starting point. So let's think about the things we're doing that are draining us, that are maybe not aligning with our life values and our priorities. And then the next thing that I think is really important to reflect on, those of you that have a motivational map, and if you don't, get one. A motivational map is really useful because it gives you your top 3 motivators, which will then link you back to the things that are draining you and help you to understand where you're at. You can focus on doing the things that most light you up and most energize you. And like I said before, you can then floodlight those things. You can really focus on the things that are most important. And that, running through those filters of your motivational map and running through the filters of your values, will help you work out what the most important things are so that you can make sure you have anything and keep trying to do everything, because it leads to burnout, it leads to stress, it leads to inefficiency, and it actually makes you a less successful and less worthwhile individual and business and leader. So that's my thoughts for today. I think it's really, really important that we do focus on those things. So take those reflections, reflect on what's most important to you. How to find out your life values is to ask yourself the question, in the context of my life, what's most important to me? And go through that list. And then also focusing on your motivations as well. I think it's really, really important when you understand whether you're motivated by mission or purpose, or if you're motivated by freedom and autonomy, if you're motivated by creativity or security and stability, that in there lies the link for you to work out exactly what is most important to you. And that can then lead to working out what you're going to do, delegate, delay, and delete. And I think that hopefully this will resonate with you, because we all feel overwhelmed from time to time, and we all try to do everything all the time. And, my advice is don't listen to popular culture. Don't listen to, people saying nobody cares, just work harder. Because that just working harder, you end up being a busy fool, end up headless chicken, whatever you want to call it. You just end up working harder and harder and pedaling faster and faster and faster. And I know firsthand that ends up leading to burnout. So it's really, really important for you to action this today. Think about what's the one thing that you really, really want to have, do, be, and what is the everything that you can let go of to enable you to achieve that anything. I hope this podcast has been useful, and please do subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you on a future episode. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us on today's It's Not So Lonely at the Top podcast. We really hope you've enjoyed today's podcast. I'm absolutely delighted that you took the time to listen, and I really hope that you'll subscribe to ensure that you receive future episodes too. If you want to find out any more, please do search It's Not So Lonely at the Top podcast, and you'll find it on your favourite podcast app. Thank you.